Hello everyone, this is Fuserdamus, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Baldur Gate Trilogy. In this episode we'll be doing the next level of Watcher's Keep, which involves getting the 3 keys in order to unlock the final seals. And we will be doing the final seals battles in the next episode. I honestly don't know why I'm bothering to create this stuff with Sespinar. I'm never going to use any of it. That's one of my major complaints with doing solo runs. I mean, it's my own fault because I enjoy doing solo, but you miss out on using a lot of the interesting items that you find. I'm thinking for my next playthrough, I'm actually going to cheat, give myself 1 proficiency slot in every item, and then, or in every weapon type, and just go through and use every single item I see. Kind of make it a challenge run or something. But to be honest, my next playthrough after this one will probably be my blind playthrough of Siege of Dragonspear, and I'll probably put up a quick video, commentated maybe, maybe not, for Baldur's Gate 1, and then do Siege of Dragonspear blind on camera. I have a couple characters that I could export and use from Baldur's Gate 1, but I feel like I should play with a party, and also use a character that I ordinarily wouldn't play as, something like a bard or a druid. If you have any suggestions for what type of character you would find interesting to watch, then let me know.
I'll see to it.
The only ones I'm kind of against are monks and sorcerers, because they're the least item dependent characters in the game. You gain your power just from leveling up with those 2 characters for the most part, and I find that D&D and Baldur's Gate in particular is much less interesting if you're not looking for items. Something about loot whoring has just tickled my fancy, man. So I'd forgotten what the combination was to open the portal to the next level, so I had to search around for this journal. Thank goodness I kept it.
Yeah. It's done.
And that right there is the exact reason why the Staff of the Magi is so overpowered. The fact that you get free invisibility. I could just walk in and scout that encounter that might have been difficult without the preparation that I was able to do.
Give me some direction. I'm waiting. I'm there. Yeah, if it must be done. Give me. It's probably best left to me.
I am kind of looking forward to using the Staff of the Ram, though. It's just crazy damage. It's something like 30 damage a hit, if I remember correctly. I wonder how this would go if you just summoned everything with like these moored swords taking all the aggro. You just summoned literally every single encounter and then just AoE'd everybody down with your with like horrid wiltings and skull traps and stuff. Might be an interesting way to complete this area or this specific encounter. Does anyone know the specific percentage chance of that Planetar's Vorpal Blade instant killing enemies? Because it seems to happen quite a bit. And on top of that, do you know any enemies that are immune to it? There's just little things like that that I'm still not certain of after all these years, somehow.
I'm waiting. Give me some direction. I'm waiting. Hold still.
So I've been thinking lately how I think I'm going to be able to beat Demogorgon, because I've heard rumors that he's immune to time stop, like he'll just continue doing his thing during time stop. So that leaves me a couple options. I can try to burst him down using improved alacrity by itself and just overwhelm everybody with spells. Or I can try to cast summons, kill his little friends with the arms and the boobs, whatever they're called. Try to get them bursted down and then 1v1 Demogorgon after that. Yeah, I really don't have too many ideas on how to complete that fight easily. For a lot of those high tier enemies, I don't really understand all of their spell protections and physical protections. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Now you'll notice I was doing like 21, 22 damage per hit with that dagger. That is almost entirely due to my strength bonus. I was hearing rumors online that the strength bonus on thrown daggers was like bugged out or wasn't working or something. That's obviously not true, at least in Throne of Ball. I've been operating under the assumption that thrown weapons get your strength bonus this entire time, and it seems to be correct.
Give me some direction.
You see me berserk there for obvious reasons, but if it's not obvious to you, that's fine. These guys can cast Amaze or Imprisonment, which are instant kill spells on solo characters, like the one you just saw happen right there. I did not resist that. A lot of them don't have any option to do a saving throw.
Time is up for you, my friend.
Also, I didn't know that these guys stole charges from all your charge items, and it seems like they also removed some of my high level spells.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. That's an interesting mechanic for higher level enemies, having them attack your gear and your spell book rather than just your HP, like most of the other enemies in the game.
I'm waiting.
So we've talked about this before, but to reiterate, Mordekainen's sword only gets one attack per round, so haste and improved haste are literally the exact same effect on them. So you'll see me cast regular haste on Mord's swords, and then if I have the luxury, I'll cast improved haste on my Planetower or my Animate Dead skeletons. I believe the Animate Dead skeletons get 2 attacks per round, and the Planetower probably gets 3. So improved haste doubles the attack per round, so obviously the more the better.
Hold still. Let's do this quick as pain. Give me some direction. What is it? I'm waiting. Let's do this quick and painful. Hold still. Breathe. Time is up. Yeah. Yeah. Scream. Scream for mercy. Yeah.
So these 2 liches can be a tough fight if you're not prepared for it, or if you're not as overpowered as I am right now. Um, it would be my recommendation to burst down the regular lich before the elemental lich. It seems like the regular lich has more killing power than the elemental one does. The elemental one often casts like meteor swarm, and it summoned a demon, things like that. But those are not nearly as scary to a party as like Wail of the Banshee or Symbol Stun, um, Finger of Death, the things that regular liches cast.
You, my friend. Yeah, no offense. No Yeah.
If you notice, there was a glitch in the AI there. The elemental lich was attacking his own demon rather than casting spells at me.
I hope this is
I was dicking around there for a second. My horrid wilting was like glitched out; it wouldn't cast.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
I think it'd be quite interesting to do that. Summon literally every single wave of enemies out of those, out of that last challenge that I just did. Summon everything and have a high level mage sitting out in the main room out of sight with a chain contingency for like 3 horde wiltings to be cast on the enemy sighted, and see if you can burst down most of them with that, because that's like 120 damage just right off the bat off of everything. You could probably kill most of the enemies in there. Be very efficient with your spells. Obviously it's not necessary, you can take it slow like I did, and it's pretty easy to take care of, but I think that'd kind of be an interesting tactic.
It's done.
I almost left that spear behind. I was thinking it was just a regular old like spear plus 3, but it's actually Ixil's nail, and I think the plus 6 version of that with the dagger and the spear put together, I think it's a really great weapon. I can't honestly remember um, what the benefits are of it, but I think it's the best spear in the game. That's one weapon I've literally never used. I would like to try it because there's that good impaler spear um, that you get from
Must be
the
done.
what are they called? The Sahuagins in the Underdark right before you get to the Underdark. There's a spear plus 3 that gets an additional plus 10 piercing damage per attack. So that's a crazy amount of damage. If you do, Greater Whirlwind, that's literally 100 extra damage per round on top of your normal damage to things that aren't resistant to that extra ability, of course. So here you get to see me fight a dragon. This is pretty optimal, if I do say so myself.
Oh, boss. Time is up for you, my friend.
So first things first, improved alacrity, and then greater malison. Um, I think it might be better to do pierce magic, all your pierce magics first, just because I don't know if greater malison can be resisted by magic resist, but it seemed to work out. And you can see my spell trigger, my level 8 spell trigger was 3 Pierce Magics. So all of those put together, it's definitely got 0% magic resist right now. And Greater Malison, of course, lowers its saving throws. So I cast Finger of Death, all my chromatic orbs at it. So it has to make all those save versus spells. But it looks like it made all those saves, and I just ended up killing it with the damage. I don't know what it took 32 damage from. Probably the Skull Trap, a spell sequencer, now that I think of it. I'd be interested to see the stats on all those dragons and the higher level bosses. I'd imagine I could look at them in like Shadowkeeper and figure it out once and for all. But if you guys have that information readily available, I would be very interested in seeing it. I've never been much of a numbers guy in this game. I've always been, I find a tactic that works for me and I use it. I think against dragons and high level enemies, you know, the kind that you actually would use spell sequencers against, I think 3 Pierce Magic is the best you can do. Another alternative would be like 2 Pierce Magics and a Breach, or 1 Pierce Magic, 1 Breach, and 1 like Secret Word or Greater Malison. If you want your spells to be effective against it. Maybe adding 1 Breach and removing 1 Pierce Magic would be the best. But for me, 3 Pierce Magic is perfect. Because ordinarily with enemies like that, I'm going to be casting Improved Alacrity, and the enemies are casting either contingency or chain contingency on themselves, which means they can only have a maximum of 3 spell protections on, and ordinarily the regular contingency is like a stone skin. I'm fairly certain for the vast majority of liches and high level mages, their contingencies are like Mantle, Fire Shield Red, Stone Skin, and Globe of Invulnerability. So they kind of cheat, but only 2 of those, or only 1 of them really, is a spell protection spell. So that's something to consider when making your spell triggers and spell sequencers. And the level 7 spell sequencer is actually pretty good because you can put 3 secret words on there, or you can do like the level 3 remove magic or spell thrust, and do a little bit of lower level magic removal that's a little bit less consistent. But when you're as high a level as I am, doing opposed checks against the enemy, which means I'm making a dice roll, they're making a dice roll, I often come out ahead. So that might be a good option. Oh, by the way, the answers to those riddles is 7 for the first one. It's you have as many brothers as you do sisters, but your brothers have twice as many sisters as they do brothers, which means he is female, or this imp is female. So there's 4 sisters and 3 brothers. So when one sister looks at all the others, there's 3 of each. When one of the brothers looks at the others, he sees 2 brothers and 4 sisters. And then the trick to the coin game is going first and taking 2 coins, getting it down to 9, and then he has no option but to get the count to 8. Um, and then from there, you want the count to go to 5, and you instant win after that. It's basically like tic tac toe. The person who goes first often wins. And in this, yeah, you just take 2, and then you get the count to 8, however you can. And then I think that's how it works anyway. It's trial and error. I don't know that one like the back of my hand anymore. Like I've said in the past, it's been years since I've done Watcher's Keep and Throne of the Ball. So you'll see me go through this stupid Spirit Warrior business. I hate this part. It's so slow paced, especially when you don't have your frame rate at 60 FPS rather than 30. The move speed is so slow, and it's just a painful experience. I don't know what they were going for. Maybe like trying to simulate pen and paper D&D, or like the old text-based RPGs. Um, which, I mean, it's kind of an interesting idea, but in practice, it really slows down the pace of the game and is not very engaging. But anyway, in the next episode, we'll pick up right where we left off. After this, the Spirit Warrior deal, you'll see me fail once here if you choose to finish the episode, and then you'll see me succeed and do a much more streamlined route through the area. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.